Hello, my name is Hung and today our group 1 will present the chapter 29 and chapter 30. Initially, I'll talk about the chapter 29, the monetary system. To start with the question 3, Belarusian State Bank, this means BSB hold $250 million in deposits and maintain a reserve ratio of 10%. A. Show a T account for BSB. B. Now suppose that BSB largest depositor withdraw $10 million in cash from her account, and if BSB decides to restore its reserve ratio by reducing the amount of loans outstanding, show its new T account. C. Explain what effect BSB take action will have on other bank. D. Why might be it's difficult for BSB to take the action described in part. B. Discuss another way for BSB to return to its original reserve ratio. And for the question A, here is the BSB T account, and as can be seen from the table, it's easily to understand that the bank holds $250 million in deposits and maintain a reserve ratio of 10%, which equal to $25 million. And third, BSBT account will show you the size of deposits of the bank. This means the liability and the reserve and loss of the bank, which is an asset. And you must remember that the figures between assets and liability must be balanced. Move to the question B. When BSB largest depositor withdraw $10 million in cash and BSB reduce its loan outstanding to maintain the same reserve ratio. Here is the new T account as below. And as can be seen from this table, it's similar to the question A, but both number of the assets and liability column must be equally. And when withdrawing $10 million in cash, this also means an assets and liability must be reduced by $10 million, and the figure of both columns must reduce from $250 million to $240 million. And move to the question C. In my opinion, I think if BSB start giving out less loan, other banks will also cut back on giving out other deposits, and other banks will short on reserve and interest rate will increase with the reduce of money supply. And finally is about the question D. In the question A of the question D, I think if the bank already has loan agreement with other people, it might be hard to make the customer to pay off the loan fast, especially a fixed rate, because the bank cannot force its customer to pay the loans before the due days. And B, I think it should reduce the amount of loans it gives out, and it can sell other assets to gain money, and could also borrow from Fed as a last resort.
Hi, my name is Hương. I'm in group 1. Today I will present the chapter 29, the monetary system, with the question 4. This is my question. You take $100 you had kept under your mattress and deposit it in your bank account. Suppose this $100 stay in the banking system as reserve, and banks hold reserve equal to 10% of deposits. By how much does the total amount of deposits in the banking system increase? By how much does the money supply increase? So first, I will give you the explanation of money supply. The money supply is the quantity of currency which is being floated into the market, economy, or nation by the government. This has to be in limit. More money supply means more purchasing power for the people and enhance more inflation rate. Next, we will move to the explanation of money multiplier. The money multiplier is the quantity of money the banking system generates with each dollar of reserve. So now we will move to our question. We have the cash deposited in the bank, is $100. If this $100 stay in the bank as a reserve, given that the bank holds a reserve equal to 10%, we can calculate the increase in the deposits in the banking system. The deposits equal to the cash deposited in the bank times reserve equal to $100 times 10 equal to $1,000. Thus, the deposits in the banking system increased by $1,000. Next, we will calculate the money multiplier. The money multiplier is equal to 1 divided reserve ratio, which is 1 divided 0.10 equal to 10. Thus, the money multiplier is 10. As the deposits increased by $1,000 and the currency declined by $100, in the final, we can calculate the money supply. The money supply is equal to the deposit subtract the currency, which is $1,000 subtract $100 equal to $900. So in the final, we have the results. The money supply increased by $900.
Hi, I'm Huệ, and the question of chapter 29 is suppose that the reserve requirement for checking deposits is 10% and that banks do not hold any excess reserve. And if the Fed sell $1 million of government bonds, what is the effect on economy reserve and money supply? And with a required reserve ratio of 10% and no excess reserve, and the money multiplier is 1 out of 10 equal 10. And if the Fed sell $1 million of bonds, the reserve will decline by $1 million, and money supply will contract by 10 times $1 million equal $10 million. And question B is, now suppose the Fed lowers the reserve requirement to 5%, but banks choose to hold another 5% of deposits as excess reserves. Why might banks do so? What is the overall change in the money multiplier and the money supply as a result of this action? Banks might wish to hold excess reserve if they need to hold reserve for day-by-day operation, such as paying other banks for customer transaction and so on. And if banks increase excess reserve, such as there is no overall change in total is reserve ratio, and then money multiplier doesn't change, and so there is no effect on money supply.
Hi, I'm Jung, and today I'm gonna show you the solution for the question 1 from chapter 30 for the section A. As we can see that the nominal GDP is equal P multiply Y, and Y is the real GDP, P is the price, M is the money, V is the velocity of money. In this problem, our amount are shown in billions, so B equal with the nominal GDP divide the real GDP is 10,000 divide 5,000 is 2, and because M multiply V equal with price multiply Y, then V equal with the total price multiply the real GDP divide the money is 10,000 divide 500 is 20. Now we move to section B. If M and V are unchanged and Y rises by 5%, then because M multiply V equal with P multiply Y, so P must fall by 5%. As a result, nominal GP is unchanged. Next, the section C. To keep the price level stable, the Fed must increase the money supply by 5%. And the last is section D. If the Fed wants an inflation rate of 10% instead, it should increase the money supply by 15%.
My name is Khoa, and today I will answer the second question of chapter 30. So, the suppose that changes in bank relation explain the availability of credit card. So so that people need to hold less cash, and the first question is how this event affect the demand of money. I think if the bank relation explain the availability of credit card, so that people need to hold less cash, it will decrease the demand for money, because both people and business need to keep less cash with themselves, so as to meet their transaction as well as precautionary requirement. And the second question is if the Federal Reserve does not respond to this event, what will happen to the price level? If the Federal Reserve doesn't respond to this event, the shift to the left of the demand of money combined with no change in the supply of money lead to the decline in the value of money, which means the price level rise. And this this figure we show. And the last question is if the Federal Reserve want to keep the price level stable, what should it do? To illustrate the answer, I will show you another figure. So as you can see, if the Federal Reserve want to keep the price level stable, it should reduce the money supply from S1 to S2 in the figure. This would cause the supply of money to shift to the left by the same amount that the demand of money shift, resulting in no change in the value of money and the price level.
Hello, I'm Mansong, and now I will keep on our presentation with chapter 30. Question 8. Record that money serves the three functions in the economy. What are those functions? How does inflation affect the ability of money to serve each of these functions? For the first question, the answer is the money has three functions are the medium of exchange, that is money is accepted for purchasing goods and services. The second one is a unit of account, that is a measurement of value of goods and services. And the last one is a store of value. It is keeping the value over time. For the second question, how does inflation affect the ability of money to serve each of these functions? In the order, with the first function, money is used as the medium of exchange, but When the expected inflation is high, people tend to lose their confidence in that currency, and they may end up using currencies from other economies. In some country with hyperinflation, like Venezuela, according to the International Monetary Fund, show that Venezuela got the extremely high inflation, with the rate estimated at almost 300% in 2019. Furthermore, US dollar got more valuable in their market. As a result, Venezuelans preferring using US dollar than their local currency. This implies that the domestic money's functions at a medium of exchange is also threatened by inflation. High expected inflation rate affects money functions at a unit of account because the price will no longer represent in the true value of goods and services. For instance, people nowadays tend to purchase housing and land at their access because this will likely not depreciation in the value of monetary form. Inflations affect the ability of money to serve as a store of value because inflation is worth money purchasing power, making it less attractive as a store of value. The high inflation in Venezuela has a catastrophic decrease in living demand. By the information on Euronews showing the reality of hyperinflation on Twitter, one Venezuelan engineer said that a person on a minimum wage have ability on buying only 7 coffees and 4 juice per month. Consequently, this for 2 reductions in number of buyers in the Venezuelan market. And this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your listening.